Greetings and welcome to this talk on responsible budget reduction at Mead Elementary by Jake Miller. I want to begin with some positive reminders, okay? I have 3 things here that I feel are very important for our schools and that we must remember going through this process. There's always money for the biggest priorities. So thankfully there is always funding for those high needs that we need at our school, those big priorities. Planning for cuts and utilizing technology will assist us so we can lean on technology and we can plan accordingly for the next school year. There's always federal and state monies that can be utilized to the best of our ability. So we can lean on these 3 reminders to best help our school. I want to start by saying these decisions are very hard. These decisions need to be made efficiently, but with our staff and students in mind. Okay, the student, staff, and community are all taken into consideration with these needs, with these budget reduction needs. They will not impede our school's ability to deliver quality education. That will not stop. We will always provide that quality education for all of our students. And I know I just want to say this last blurb, everyone is responsible for their thoughts and feelings here. Please reach out if you have any input about how things can be done better or any suggestions that you have. So I want to start with those priorities again, just to really hammer that home. Our priorities are having high quality educators, and by having that, we can then engage students, close those achievement gaps, and create positive classroom changes for our students. Those are our highest priorities. The possible changes coming to us are a budget shortfall that is looking really real, and a referendum. So because of those things, there will be a need for program and job changes. And we're going to explore that throughout this whole talk about which programs and what jobs need to be changed. I want to start off first by talking about leaning on resources. Now, I bring this up first because I have 2 resources here that could help us. They do cost money to implement, but they could be cheaper and save us money in the long run. So Everyday Labs, this is a tool that helps schools with attendance. So it helps give positive family outreach, things called nudges when a student isn't meeting their attendance at schools. This could help streamline how we deal with attendance. Really good tool, and we need to explore that a little bit more. TeachFX. This is a tool for teachers on how they're performing. This tool monitors a teacher while they teach and gives them a lot of good advice afterward. It records you, and it basically will give you feedback on your talk time versus student talk time. And things like that, and also gives you some good advice about how to work on those things. That was just one example, but there are other things that TeachFX could do. This could free up time for principals to be doing other things other than observing teachers. But I also agree that principal observations are very important, and getting that feedback to teachers is very important. And I don't think a system is necessarily the best tool for that, but I think this could be used sometimes. So those are 2 tools, and I bring those up early because we could be using those to help us with other things. Now, so first initiative, removing positions. These decisions are not taken lightly. I wanted to say that first because everybody here is very, very important. Everybody is doing their best work and is very much needed, okay? And we cannot have this kind of school that we have without all these amazing teachers here. Now, people are the most expensive but the most needed. So removing a few positions could really help us with our budget shortfall. Asking first, are there positions that are retiring or resigning? Is anybody moving? Anything like that. That could really start us off with, on a good foot. The student engagement facilitator, our SEF position, very important position, very helpful to teachers. Could we move without that position? We could. Even though it's very helpful to all of our schools, Could we move away from that? Classroom sizes. Enrollment continues to go down, so we may look at combining classes where historically we've had 3 teachers per grade level. Now we'll move down to 2. We've seen that in our school already this past year, where 4th and 5th grade have moved to 2 classrooms, and that has worked out fine. The main question, though, to keep in mind here is, can you remove teachers or positions that will not impede on the largest priorities? We need to keep that question, that thought, in our mind as we go through this. Reducing programs. Another few tools that we could use to help reduce programs would be to help finding subs. So ASOP and Red Rover are 2 systems that we could use to find subs. This would be more cheaper than a person who does this job. There is someone who calls and finds subs when you are sick or out of school. ASOP and Red Rover could do that for us and be more automated and be a little bit better at finding those subs. Looking for free versions of things on educational sites and Clever. We right now say we have IXL. We pay for that. If we could get rid of paying for that, that would save us some money. And we could find other resources that could be free online. EduClimber, Skyward, and AimsWeb. We right now pay for all 3 of these. EduClimber has been really good for tracking behaviors and creating a database for students who have those big behaviors that we need to keep track of. So that keeps track of it year to year. But we're looking at Skyward options. If they have something like this, something similar to EduClimber, and maybe moving towards that, because those are 2 separate entities. So if we could get rid of EduClimber and stick towards Skyward and AimsWeb, that would be really, really helpful. These are small in comparison, and these expenses, but a cap on classroom spending and field trips for next year would be very helpful. That would be a way to save money and a way for teachers to work through that. I know a lot of teachers already do fundraising for field trips. We could just continue that or do that a little bit more. But those types of things would be really helpful in saving some funds for us. Move to more effective means. So, insurance. In the past, we've explored changing insurance programs to another. That could be a big cost-effective way to save money for our school. No new technology for this coming year. Stick with what we already have. We have been blessed to have been given BenQs. Excuse me. BenQs, and students have Chromebooks. This next school year, no new technology, no changes like that. Let's stick with what we have. That is one, I think, easy plan to stick with. Now, here's a few ways to help school revenue, and these might seem pretty obvious, but we want to minimize expenses, maximize enrollment, and expand our offerings. So, those are 3 things that we really want to do to help us this next school year, and here's some more concrete examples of that. So, grant writing. I propose a team so the staff can come together and write grants for our school. It's a lot of work to go through grants, and if we got a nice organized team, like I know our team is, we could utilize those grant resources. And it would be very hard, but writing grants, once you do it a few times, it gets a little bit easier. And some people I know already have, but this could be a system for us to get some more grants into our school, and we could find what's best for us. And I think in this, we can find ways to attract more people to our school, more students to our school, more families, if we have different programming and different grants that grants bring in to attract more people to our school. And I left the link down there as just a place for us to start. Grants from Wisconsin. Some creative means. Our school's already utilized at times outside of the school day, but we could rent out the school property, we could rent out the gym, the cafeteria. When it's nice out, not like recently, we could utilize our playground and those things. Those could be used for fundraisers and events for local vendors, and that could really bring in a little bit of money for us. That would be very helpful to our school. Another thing could be to reduce the need for copies and really lean on our Chromebooks, really lean on Google Classroom and those online resources. The less copies we make, the more money we have. So if we could really lean on those things, I'm already thinking for myself at staff meetings to do, we always have an exit ticket, to do that virtually, not virtually, in Google Classroom on a Google form. Have that out there and have teachers share their feedback to me right there. So I was thinking about that as one way I could make that change. And I'm sure if you really look at how we do things in our classrooms, we could find more ways like that. I'm not saying that we're going to stop making copies. I'm just saying that we could reduce the need for copies. Community connection. I really want to make sure that families are staying at our school. We do have turnover of students all around our city, and that is a challenge. That is a challenge for us. So if we continue delivering that quality education and programs, we could have some more after-school programs, more sports, more community engagement nights. If we offer those things, it's going to keep more students at our school. And I think that will really help us bring in more money because each student brings in more money to our school. I left this last slide because this is tough. This is a tough talk. This is not easy. And I just want you to know that we are going to continue to deliver that quality education. And this is hard work, but it's something that we can work through and we are going to be okay. Thank you so much. There are my resources. Okay. How do I stop this?